Kykers, goeiedag. Baie welkom as jy sopas ingeskakel is. Ons is hier in Montagu in die Klein Karoo. Ons is hier by Belinda Juffer se kunsgalery en ook haar kunsatelier. En vanmiddag sit ek hier met Dr. Shaun Pekeur. Hy is ook 'n internasionale professor. Shaun, jy was vir 'n geruime tyd in die buiteland. Jy het daar 'n bietjie opvoeding gaan gee, jy's terug in Suid-Afrika, jy's terug hier in jou in die hometown en soos die mense altyd sê. So nou as jy terug, waarheen is Dr. Shaun Pekeur op pad?
Dr. Shaun Pekeur is op pad na 'n nuwe bestemming. Ek is nou wel terug om my gemeenskap verder te ontwikkel, want dit is my passie. Ek hou daarvan om mense te ontwikkel. Dit is my roeping in my lewe ook. Maar dit is ook om vir my mense inspirasie te wees, vir al die jong mense wat ons vandag sien. Dat ek 'n persoon was net soos hulle, op baie ideale en drome gehad het. En die lewensles wat ek kan leer is dat ons almal begin by 'n posisie. En dit is die keuses wat jy maak met daai posisie wat vir jou deure gaan oopmaak. Vir my, ek was bevoorreg om in 'n huis groot te word waar pa was baie in onderwys, ma was 'n kokster in die huis, en sy was altyd die persoon wat vir ons aangemoedig het. Pa was akademies baie sterk, en hy het die leierskap leiding gegee vir al drie sy kinders 'n sukses te wees. So ek is nou baie goed in kommunikasie, want die Pekeur mense hou van lekker gesels. En my suster is die administrateur, Almin, en my kleine suster Sandy, sy is nou die events manager. Sy hou van dinge, events reël vir mense. So opvoeding was maar 'n sentrale punt. Nou dat ek terug is, kan ek net dankbaar wees, want soms is die berge so mooi, en dan hou die berge jou terug, en dan sit jy vas agter die berge. Maar ek het geleer om oor die berge te kyk, en na baie mooie dinge te smag. Ek het my posisie gebruik om myself te ontwikkel, en nou gee ek terug aan die gemeenskap. Ek ontwikkel die gemeenskap ook baie. Die gemeenskap is nie verskillend met die gemeenskap internasionaal. Ons het almal ons uitdagings, maar ek kan vir jou sê, die mooiste plek op die planeet, Miles Monroe mag dalk verskil, hy sê dit is die Bahamas, maar ek sê dit is Montagu met sy mooi berge, okay, en sy muskadel.
En sy droë vrugte.
En sy droë vrugte, en sy natuurlike talent.
En die mooi rustigheid.
Yeah, but don't be fooled with the quietness. There's a lot of things that are going on, and a lot of positive things. For me, the biggest challenge is the way people are still thinking. It is much more easy for the young people to aspire for things. When we grew up, I wanted to become a pilot. It was very, very difficult. But little did I know that my inspirations will take me right across the world and motivate other people as well. So you cannot allow yourself to be controlled by other people's thinking of what they think of you. You have to energize yourself. And for me, it is my faith and my standing with my Creator who gave me a natural talent. And it's the talent to talk. I can remember at school I was good in acting, very popular in acting as well. But you need to understand that you are here for a purpose. And it starts off with your identity. And this is part of the pain that we had to grow up as South Africans. Fortunately, when I was studying at university, I was one of the first few people of color that started with tutoring classes. And I will never forget. And every experience that I went through taught me a lesson. I will never forget, my professors thought that I should tutor students. And it was scary for me because I was one of few colored students in the classroom at that time. And they had such faith in me, in believing that I could do it. And the first time in class, in tutor class, I had all these beautiful people in the class, and they were all looking at me, and they said, well, this guy must be amazing and handsome as well. But then I got experienced by 3 big guys walking in, and they asked me, what are you doing here? You can hear that r. Even that r has a purpose in my life. Because when I was international at Saudi Arabia, I've noticed they all like to pray. Okay? So I could naturally fit in with them as well. And they asked me, why are you here? And this is one of the key challenges I always put forward to my students. Why are you here? What makes you get out of the bed in the morning? And that started a thought pattern with them. So I said to them, I have 2 choices. I could either say, leave the class and run back, but if I do that, then I will comply to the thinking of that time. So compliance is one of the things that you have to face in your life. There's a specific period of compliance that you have to adhere to. And I think this is part of why so many of the artists that you guys interviewed are successful, because they went to the second step. So I decided I am going to stay in class, and the 3 gentlemen left, but you won't believe, every day my class got fuller and fuller and fuller. So the life story that I got out of that is there's 2 C's operating in a person's life, specifically in South Africa, which is compliance, where you have to comply to something, because by compliance they try to control your thinking, or you place your mind in capacity. So even up till today, when I speak to international students, I talk about compliance and capacity. And compliance and capacity is 2 types of organizations that we face with. Compliance deals with a learning organization, and capacity deals with skill development. So in this week I had an experience to see 2 young artists moved out of compliance and becoming capacity orientated. Because if they were not capacity orientated, they will never discover their true potential and purpose. So that is why I'm so thankful, because in my life situation, I will never forget, in my first year at university, I wanted to quit. And this big gentleman from Namibia said to me, no, you can't quit. You have so much capacity inside of you. Why do you want to quit? And then I realized in my life lesson that you need to develop a relationship with people, specifically people that creates the best out of you. And for me, this is one of my life lessons as well. To get the best out of myself, I need to spend time with people. So yes, Peter, that for me was the starting point. And today everything, and what I've learned in one of the life lessons I learned recently from agriculture is that if you don't struggle, you don't grow. So all my life was a struggle, but I grew immensely, and that is why I'm so passionate in what I'm doing, and that is why it's easy for me to share wherever I go to. It's very easy to talk to people, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Saudis, and Saudi Arabia, people are very much interested in South Africans. But I learned a lot of my potential in that country, and that is why I'm back as well, to initiate capacity, to enhance capacity within people, because that is the key thing today. And that is why we struggle at the moment with leadership, because leadership is all about, in South Africa, the type of leadership is all about compliance. So as a leader, and that is what I challenge myself, you need to know exactly what it is you want to become. Because if you are not clear what it is that you want to become, you can't do that to other people. And that is the challenge with us. We sit on a gold mine in South Africa with so much capacity. And capacity doesn't come in the form of race, gender, culture. It comes in the form of people. I always tell myself the story that I share with my students. If you look at chocolates comes in different wrappings. But what's the commonality with chocolates? They are chocolates. Forrest Gump used to say, life is like a box of chocolates. I say chocolates comes in different wrappings, but they remain chocolates. Whatever color or brand you put on a chocolate, it is still a chocolate. And that is the legacy we need to leave behind for our young people. Life is not about myself. Your purpose is to make a key development into people's life. If I talk to my business students, I said, you don't start a business just for profit making. You start a business because you want to feed a family. And that is what life is all about. So I can't claim. It's like somebody said to me, oh, your grandmother is now going to be difficult. Very unhappy because you're helping a rugby team that she never supported. I said, she would understand. Because my calling is not just for one group of people. My calling is for everyone. So time being in Montagu is to be involved with projects, doing a lot of writing if I have time. But my great expectation is to travel again. Because it's when you travel, your personal mastery and your personal development comes out. And that becomes a story that you can share with everybody. If I look at these students, they all had to start with a line. And I always say to my students, you come into my class and you have one line, boring. Okay, let's take that boring to a operation setting. If there is a boring line, it will go like this. Beep. And when it happens, beep, that means you have no heartbeat. So you always have to set yourself goals, personal goals, to get where you want to be. And that creates the impulse in your life. So life is not about yourself. And when you look back in life and you see the differences that you made into other people's lives, it brings tears into your eye. It creates a greater sense of satisfaction. So art is a form of legacy that you leave behind. It's like footprints. Wherever you go in the world, you leave footprints behind. So if I look at the way people did the art and how people internationally sold the art, that's a footprint. Everybody wants to be remembered by a footprint. Nobody wants to leave life not being known.
Wel kykers, dis baie interessant en Dr. Shaun Pekeur, internasionale professor. 'n Laaste woord van jou, ek meen daar's soveel afgetrede professors, dokters, prinsipale, onderwysers, mense in die opvoedingskringe. Jou boodskap aan hulle voor ons afsluit.
There is no such word as retirement. Somebody created that word. Okay? When I was in Germany, my colleagues there, they were not unhappy with the fact that their retirement was extended. They actually enjoyed it. So we need to be careful. Once again, compliance. Don't focus on compliance. Don't say 65, I have to comply. Your best life only starts after 80. Did you realize that? Your best life starts at that time. And that's the time that you're thinking it's much more fresher. I always say to people, and this is what I want to leave behind, don't focus on a job. Focus on working. And working, in my vocabulary, entails knowledge, skill, ability, attitude, and your values. Give that back to the young generation. Don't let the people of today tell you, sit back. We just saw someone that just presented her lifestyle through art. She's also a colleague of mine at TUT, and I'm at CPUT, but we never ever sit down. I had a professor, Hans Gildenhuys, who taught over more than 70 years. He will change his glasses. I might change my glasses, but I'm going to still be very much actively involved with community development. And that is what life is all about. Okay, so don't let people comply you to retire at 60. The best way is to leave planet while you're still busy in what you're doing, what your passion is and what your life is all about. And that is what we need to explain to our young people here. And that's what young people need these days. So I want to inspire all principals, all professors of whatever field you are in, to come forward in your community and make yourself known to the community. Living a life with purpose.
Wel, ons sê baie dankie. Ons sit hier in die kunsgalery van Belinda Juffer hier in Montagu. Dr. Shaun Pekeur, internasionale professor. Baie dankie vir die voorreg om saam te gesels.
Baie dankie, Pieter.
Wel, ek is Pieter Miller, Atlantis Alive, Montagu, Tara en goodbye.